Hey folks, Michael Mann from Michael Mann Security Services. Welcome to our next series, Basics of Church Security. Today we're going to talk about identification. So something I see spinning around the Facebook pages, sometimes we get questions through our webpage on email about how should our security team at our church, our volunteers, identify themselves. And so I want to kind of go over that for the next 5 minutes and give you our ideas about it. So one idea that we always hear or we're asked or we happen to see is, should our security team wear something that says security on it like this? So nothing wrong with that. Just a couple things to think about when we start to put security on shirts. So if you live in a state where there's a regulatory requirement that says you must be a licensed security officer before you put security on a shirt, then obviously you're not going to be able to do that if your security team is not licensed. So before you decide to mark security or have your security team members wear security on the shirt, they're not being paid or wearing a vest like I just showed you or some sort of a tag, check your state regulations to be sure that you're going to be in compliance, because the last thing you want to do is put your volunteers at risk over some kind of a legal piece that or some sort of a legal requirement that you guys are unaware of. So one, you may not be able to do that, so check your laws first if you're not already licensed as a security organization. And you guys have heard me say this over and over. I believe that the security team should not have anything posted security or whatever, and we'll talk about that before this video ends. The next thing I always see are like badges. Okay, so two things about security badges. Number one, the same concern that I have with actually putting security on a shirt, on a jacket, or some sort of a vest. Number one, does your state, the state where you're living or where you guys are volunteering, is there some kind of regulation that says you can't display a badge unless you're a licensed security officer or a police officer? So same thing, check your state requirements to make sure that there's not something legally that says that before you can put a badge on, that you have to be a police officer, you have to be a licensed security officer. The other thing about badges, sometimes people, when they see a badge, they automatically think that that person standing at that post is some sort of public servant, like a police officer or like a firefighter or whatever. So one thing we don't want to do, security and law enforcement is security and some sort of a public function. Those are two separate entities. We don't want people to misunderstand. And also, if they think you're a police officer, that could also draw some attention in other situations that maybe that you don't want. So when we talk about badges, look at the legal requirements, number one, like you did with the security patches or the security nameplates or whatever. And also, again, just think about, we don't want to be mistaken as police officers if we are not, all right? So again, one option is this, look at the state requirements. Second option is this, again, look at the state requirements, and you don't want to be mistaken. And the other thing is for a police officer, and the other is you don't want people to think that you want them to think that you're a police officer, like you're impersonating an officer standing opposed to the badge on. So we don't want that to happen either, all right? So my preferred method, or the preferred method that we go off of, so I manage security for a large church. We've got about, at one campus, about 1,700 folks on Sunday, and a second campus, we run about 550 folks through that. The main campus, we've got about 75 acres, so it's a big location. You guys have heard me say this before. I'm all about church security not wearing anything that says security or badges, and here's why. I believe church security programs are like executive protection programs, and what that means is the protection professionals must blend in and fit in with the protectee, the person they're protecting, and the environment. And to do that, that means they're going to be dressed like everybody else, and if you're going to be dressed and you're going to act like all the other volunteers and ministries, then really all it requires is a name tag. And you'll notice these are the name tags we wear. We wear these around our neck. We've got like a little CPR barrier here, and all it has is the symbol for our church, and then it has our first name. This doesn't scream security. What this says is you are doing something for the church. You represent the church, and people that are visitors or need assistance know this is someone that they can come to as I wear this around my neck, okay? The next question comes up, if I'm not wearing something that says security, how's the bad guy going to know that we're security? Trust me, if you've listened to some of my other webinars, if you've gone through our Israeli security concept training, you know if it's an adversary that's going to commit a violent act or planning on committing a violent act, just this, wearing this and standing a post being observant, being situationally aware, and doing what you're supposed to do as a protection professional, the adversary will know that you are site security. Your gun, a gun doesn't have to be present, a badge doesn't have to be on. This and your situational awareness and you standing a post correctly is going to tell that adversary exactly who you are. All right, folks, that's just some quick ideas about identification, patches, badges, name tags. If you have any questions, you can always email us at scottm, SCOTTM, at michaelmannsecurityservices.com. You can go to our webpage, michaelmannsecurityservices.com, send us a message there. You can find us at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Safe with Man. And remember, folks, it's about prevention, not response.